I'm going to start this review off with something I neglected in my last review, was the case. And the case for the, at least the Japanese and Chinese Wolfgangs and the USA ones, is very cool. Has the EVH logo on top, which is upside down from the front, and the stripes on top. And the cool thing is, if you see, they have this little indent here, and obviously it has feet on the other side, so you can stack these up and they won't slide off too easily anyway. And if you look in the bottom, the stripes match up with the ones on top of the case, so when they're sitting on top of each other, they shouldn't slide off too easily. You know, in case you want to buy 5 or 6 of them, you can stack them up as high as you like. I marked mine because I got 2 and I want to know which one I was opening up. This review is going to be for the Stealth model. Which, there you go. Very nice case. Has this cool, I think this is the same thing that's on their amps. Nice big pockets, put a bunch of your stuff in. Crushed red velvet case. Anything looks good in it. And of course the guitar's in there. A lot of people don't know you can actually buy these cases separate from the guitars. I think they're about $200 if you get them on Guitar Center or Musician's Friend or any of the other ones I failed to mention. C Sounds, all those, they have the case. I've seen them on eBay, people trying to sell them for $300 and such, where it's a new phenomenon, but people take a guitar and part it out kind of dastardly, in my opinion. But obviously that's what this guy's done, is he's taken a Wolfgang and you know, he sells it in parts, and he's trying to sell the case for $300. You can buy the case brand new for $200 anywhere. So future reference, if you have a PV and you just love this case and you gotta have one, $200 and it's yours, you can get one. Just look around a little bit. Hey, I'm back to do a review of the Wolfgang Stealth Special. My last video I mentioned I was going to get another one, and here it is. The reason I picked the Stealth was mainly because the ebony fretboard. Figure if I'm going to have 2, at least I have something different besides the color, and so I went with the Stealth. This guitar plays just as well as my other Black Cherry model. Just flat out start from there. The only difference is the ebony, the color, and the ebony fretboard. Personally, I think I like the maple slightly more, although in a week or so I may have a different opinion on that. I have ebony on 2 other guitars. I have a Les Paul Deluxe that has a ebony fretboard, and I have a Mockingbird. I forget what model it is. I always forget. It's a signature model, but I've kind of altered it to where it doesn't look too much like the original guitar. And that has an ebony fretboard, and all 3 feel different to me. This feels nice. I just think I like the maple slightly more. It's just a preference thing. Personally, I don't notice a big difference as far as a lot of people say that the ebony sounds brighter than the maple. I don't hear it. They're almost identical to me as far as sound goes. Between my Les Paul and the Mockingbird, I don't know what they did to the fretboard, but it's very, very smooth and polished. It just feels slicker. You know, but this is nice. But it doesn't feel the same as those other 2 to me. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It just doesn't feel the same. it's really, to me, it's not a big deal anyway. I've had maple, which I think I prefer overall anyway, and then ebony and rosewood, which would probably be my third choice. I had two guitars. One of the ones I sold to buy this one was a Strap Plus, a green Strap Plus that had a rosewood fretboard, but I didn't play it much, so I figured I'd give it up for this one because I know I'm going to play this a lot. Again, I love this guitar. They both just play great. I get this, kind of going back to the other one, the small frets, mean a world of difference to me. I've clarified some of the differences now between the Japanese, the Chinese, are, as far as I can tell, they're pretty much the same. The bill and the Chinese are, in fact, I've heard more complaints about the Japanese necks shrinking a little bit, causing the frets to stick out on the side. Maybe because of the climate in Japan, and when it gets sent over here, it kind of dries out a bit. I've heard that for the most part, that what I've heard is that if they let it sit a couple of weeks or put a humidifier in the case, which I am thinking about doing on both of these, I'm probably going to, it goes back to normal. So as far as the Chinese, I haven't heard any complaints as far as that goes so far. Not that I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I'm just saying I haven't heard of anything like that. Now the difference between the Japanese, Chinese, and the Mexican made guitars, the Mexico specials now have an arch top. I don't know how big the cap is, if it's the same as the USA models, if it's a veneer. I believe these are veneer. This does have one from what I understand, by the way, too. But I don't know how thick the cap is on those, and I'm assuming they got to be thick enough to have an arch on it at least. So the thing I don't like about the new made in Mexico models, the frets are large and they're nickel. They're not stainless. I'm telling you, especially if you play it a lot, the stainless steel frets are going to end up being worth their weight in gold, because they just are not going to wear like the nickel does. Like I said in the other video, if you have larger frets, you know, you can always refinish them. You'll get a lot of use out of them. I prefer the smaller frets. The one things I was saying was that one of the things I had to adjust for that I never even realized is when I'm doing a slide, I tend to go too far and miss the note I was trying to hit, because there's a lot less resistance. I never realized how much larger frets are almost like a scallop, albeit not an EVH, or I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, a Blackmore scallop, because that's where he got it from, as much as he wants to talk about it. I was there in the days when he was playing in Steeler. He stole all his moves from Blackmore. Don't let him tell you different. And you know, it's not a coincidence that he wore all black, white boots, played a white Strap with the scallop fretboard. Don't believe it. Sorry. Anyways, tangent. But it's large frets are a little like having a scallop neck, which is, you have to press harder to sound the note. And this one just seems so effortless to sound a note on. It's just ridiculous. As I said in the other review, the action is ridiculously low. So there's not a whole lot to add to my last review. The one thing I did want to go over was the case, and okay, sounding like a Van Halen fanboy. The guy just makes great shit. I mean, the case is cool. The guitars are cool. This guitar stuff that you're just not going to get anywhere else. The unfinished neck. All the parts. I mean, it's kind of unheard of for people to take all the quality parts that are on the American made models and put them on the Japanese one. It's just, They look at the imports as just cutting costs and that's it. And you know, I'm not saying they're not cutting costs on these, but there's really, I can't say, you know, I haven't played the American-made model yet. I'm gonna get over to Guitar Center and try one out just to see. But as far as they did not skimp on these as far as where it counts, which is I mean, the tuning machines, like I said before, are, you know, they're kind of, they're good tuning machines. Don't really need them as long as they work, because you're clamping it down and they're useless after that anyway. But you know, everything, all the parts are quality, great pickups. Went over that already. So I was gonna go. This strap is really cool. When I bought my first one, and I usually buy couch straps. Great company in Signal Hill here, so it's local. I'm not a vegan, but they're big on that, and they use old vehicle vinyl for like seats and stuff to make straps. They're really cool. But I didn't find one that I liked, and because I bought like 5 of them already. And I didn't find one I liked. I said, yeah, I'll get the Van Halen strap just to see what it's like. And it's really cool. And so much so that I was going to throw another strap on this one, and I didn't. I did, but I didn't really. It just feels different. And the cool thing about this strap is you can adjust how high up you want it. It's just a Velcro strap, and you can pull it down, you can pull it up, and take some out, or adjust it without even taking the guitar off, which is brilliant. Before you're kind of doing with these, and you're kind of pulling up, and it's a pain in the ass. These are really easy to adjust on the fly, which is really cool, and they're really comfortable straps. I wish there's a big deal because I believe there's an Ernie Ball strap like this too. And then there was the Wolfgang, the PV Wolfgang ones, and those are leather. And these are made out of vinyl or pleather or whatever. It would be nice if I could pay a little extra and get that leather strap. You want to get one of the PV Wolfgang ones, you're going to pay a couple $100 now on eBay because they're just, people are crazy. But it's a nice strap. I like it a lot. I use Schaller strap locks. That's kind of a new thing. I used to use Dunlop, but I decided I like the Schallers a little better because on the back here they have kind of a horseshoe, and the tuning or the strap peg kind of sits into that horseshoe, so it's kind of extra that it's not gonna fall out. And the Dunlops, I've almost lost guitars a couple times because you have a thing where you push it in and click it in, and it was in there but it wasn't seated all the way, and I've had them pop out. Once you get them in there, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're once you get them in there, but sometimes you think you got them in there and you don't. And with this one, once you set it in there, it's not going to come out. I may find something I don't like about it later, but I haven't yet. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I didn't want to make this another 20-minute snore fest. I have dialed in the sound more on these now. My pedal board I've rearranged a little bit also. I'll just run through a couple. I think it sounds pretty good now. Just run through a little bit without being annoying about That's through just the amp and the EQ. That's all it is right there. My pedal board, I have a tuner, Van Halen Phase 90 and a Van Halen flanger. It goes into a Kurt Hammett wah, and then to the effects loop I have a Line 6 echo unit, my MXR 10 band EQ, and I just recently added a decimated G string, which works pretty well. I don't know if you hear that difference, but works pretty well. And I had a MXR Smart Gate that just died on me after a year and a half. So 6 months out of warranty, it died. Thank you, MXR. But I think the sound of this is just awesome so far. I'm still working on my clean sound. Anyways, that's it. I want to make it long this time. Thanks for watching.